live on IBM VNA, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Krishna.
Thank you. Finally. Okay, dear devotees, thank you all so much for joining. We'll start with our Mangalacharan. We already wasted 15 minutes. Om Namo
Om Namo
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Go ahead.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं भंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वर। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for joining and really apologize for all that happened past 15 minutes. We were not able to figure out the problem. Let's get started. I'll share my screen. So we are in this chapter 1 of second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So what all we covered is the I don't know why my voice is coming.
Mataji, maybe we can mute everybody on entry. With that, you won't have echo.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Now I think so it's okay. Okay, so we saw that how Parikshit Maharaj asked 3 questions and Sukhdev Goswami, he congratulated him that you asked all these questions very wonderfully, and this is for the benefit of the people in general. And after explaining all this, he explained that what is the highest perfection of the human life, that it can be achieved either by Sankhya, by mystic yoga, but ultimate aim is to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After that, he describes about Parikshit Maharaj was somehow thinking that you mentioned about bhakti being the topmost, but how should I practice bhakti? I just have 7 days. And Sukhdev Goswami says, don't worry, 7 days is more than enough. Even one mahurta is good. So Parikshit Maharaj was thinking, one mahurta, in just one mahurta, we can be self-realized and we can achieve. Devotees, please mute yourself. Yeah. So he said that just one mahurta is enough. And then Parikshit Maharaj was thinking that, and he was that, how come just one mahurta is enough? And then Sukhdev Goswami gave the example of Katvanga Maharaj. He says that Katvanga Maharaj was just left with one mahurta and he immediately took shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. And you have 7 days, which is more than enough. So please make some necessary arrangements. And then he explained about the Ashtanga Yoga first. He says Ashtanga Yoga, what are the various stages of Ashtanga Yoga? So we know that we have Yam, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and finally Samadhi. So now he says that Dharana is important because you have to fix your mind with intelligence. Now, this dharana, taking the shelter of dharana, this process of dharana means dharana ashraya. This is not limited just to Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga, the preliminary limbs like Yam, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, and Pratyahara, and of course, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, all these limbs are also equal to Bhakti Yoga, equivalent to Bhakti Yoga. Because in Bhakti Yoga also we have some yams, some niyamas. We do practice some ways of remembering the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We try to withdraw the mind from the sense activities and we then fix the intelligence also on the Lord's form. And then finally, that Samadhi in Bhakti Yoga is establishing our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So he says that, yes, all those yam, niyama, asana, pranayam, they are all important, but the point is that you have to come to the level of dharana. And dharana refers to when we fix our intelligence on the Supreme Lord. Means with the intelligence involved, we have to fix our mind on the Lord's form. Now, this dharana can be different for different yogis. Dharana ashraya, taking shelter of dharana, is different. So here we see that in text 22, you have covered, I think so. Parikshit Maharaj asked 3 questions. He says, the fortunate King Parikshit. Now here who is saying? Suta Goswami is saying. Suta Goswami is telling the sages of Naimisharanya that in that assembly, when Sukdev Goswami explained this was the doubt that arose in the heart of Parikshit Maharaj. And he further inquired, O Brahmana, means O Sukhdev Goswami, please describe in full detail how and where the mind has to be applied. So that means how this dharana can be accomplished, because Sukhdev Goswami says that through dharana, what happened? When you fix your mind on the Lord's form, then the contamination in the heart goes away. And the contamination in the heart are the 6 anarthas that we carry. So they go away and this tamas is destroyed, ignorance is destroyed. And finally, one achieves the desired goal. So Parikshit Maharaj naturally asked that how this dharana is accomplished and what is a bona fide dharana ashraya, means where the mind has to be applied. So this dharana ashraya is different for the Ashtanga yogis, for Jnana yogis, and for Bhakta yogis. And finally, he asked how the conception can be fixed so that the dirty things in a person's mind can be removed. So how to quickly remove the contamination of the mind? Because in this verse, remember, he says, one's mind is always agitated, Sukhdev Goswami is saying, by the passionate mode of material nature and bewildered by the ignorant mode of nature. So one must rectify such conceptions by the relationship of Vishnu and thus become pacified by cleansing the dirty things that is being created by them. So in this regard only, Parikshit Maharaj is asking that how can we fix our mind so that these dirty things in a person's mind can be removed. So this is the context. So three questions, right? How the dharana is accomplished, what is the bona fide dharana ashraya, means it is different for different devotees. So what is a bona fide dharana ashraya and how to quickly remove these contaminations in the mind. Now, in this regard, 23 verse from where we have to start, Shukdev Goswami started answering. Now, here we have to note one thing. Now, this is not this pure bhakti. This is not the unalloyed devotional service that Shukdev Goswami is talking. But then the question comes, and why Parikshit Maharaj was so inquisitive? When already this has been settled that pure devotional service is the sum and total of everything, and you have to come on the level of performing pure devotional service to the Lord, why Parikshit Maharaj was so inquisitive on inquiring about this Mishrit Bhakti? Why he was so curious? So the point here comes is that he was curious for people like us, for people, those who, because Srimad Bhagavatam, it caters the needs for everybody. It's not only for those who are coming for pure devotional service, even those who are Ashtanga yogis, even those who are Jnana yogis, at least they should come and study this Srimad Bhagavatam, and later the essence is established that how Bhakti Yoga is the highest. So for them, Parikshit Maharaj is asking this question, what if somebody is doing this Mishrit Bhakti, then for them, what is the Dharana Ashraya and how quickly they can also remove the contaminations of this mind. So from 23 onwards, we will see that Sukdev Goswami start answering about all these questions that Parikshit Maharaj is asking. And he will give Dharana Ashraya for a neophyte devotee, for Ashtanga yogi, for Jnana yogi, and finally for Bhakta yogi. He will explain for everything. But in this chapter, he will be explaining for a neophyte devotee, means a devotee who still is attached to worldly things. Okay, so we'll continue. Because after reading this, one may think that unnecessary why we are coming to this understanding the Virat Purusha or the universal form of the Lord. We are Bhakta yogis, why we have to deal into all this. But the point is that because Sukdev Goswami has explained this to Parikshit Maharaj, so we should also have the understanding. There is no harm in understanding the complete knowledge. Yes, our focus may not be, our focus is on Bhakti Yoga, but still we should know this complete knowledge. We should know the knowledge of Ashtanga yogis, we should know the knowledge of Jnana yogis, and we should have the knowledge about those neophytes who are still attached to this worldly things. How can they accomplish and how can they purify themselves? Okay. So in this regard, Sukdev Goswami will first take Parikshit Maharaj through this process of fixing one's mind on Virat Purusha, of course, which is not necessary for those who are practicing Bhakti Yoga, but for those who are not in this process, for them it is important. So Srila Sukdev Goswami continued. Shriya Shuka Vacha Jitasno Jita Swaso Jita Sango Jitendriya Sthule Bhagavato Rupe Mana Sandhara Idhiya. Very simple. He is saying Jita. Jita asana. Asana means ashana. Asana means basically controlling the sitting posture, how you sit, your asana. So you have to control. Jita means to win over. Means you have to sit in a very, your sitting posture should be very, very controlled. Like when we sit cross legs or basically in any asana, but we keep changing. So in that regard, Sukdev Goswami is saying, no, you have to sit in one asana and that asana should be controlled. You should be able to sit for a long time in that asana. Jita swaso, and you should also win over the controlling breathing process. You should have a controlled breathing process. Jita Sango, your association should be controlled. You should win over the association, means you should only associate with the like-minded devotees. Jitendriya, Indriya means the senses. You should win over your senses also. Sthule Bhagavate Rupe, in that condition, when you have win over your, or you have controlled your sitting postures, you have controlled your breathing process, you have controlled your association, and at the same time, you have controlled your senses. In that regard, when you have controlled everything in that condition, manhas sandharetiya, you have to fix your mind on the Supreme Lord. But mana sandhare dhiya. Dhiya means with intelligence. So with intelligence, one should be able to fix one's mind. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Sukhdev Goswami answered, one should control the sitting posture, regulate the breathing process by yogic pranayam, and thus control the mind and senses, and with intelligence apply the mind to the gross potencies of the Lord, called the Virat Rupa. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nishant. So, Prabhupada in the purport says, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The materially absorbed mind of the conditioned soul does not allow him to transcend the limit of the bodily conception of life. And thus, the yoga system for meditation is prescribed in order to mold the character of the gross materialist. So, everybody may not be on the level where they can join this Bhakti Yoga process. So, materially absorbed mind of the conditioned soul does not allow him to transcend the limit of the bodily conception of life. That means he is referring to those who are still not fully detached yogi. They are attached to what? To the bodily conception of life. And for them, this Ashtanga Yoga is very important. So with that, they can control. They can control by yam, niyama, asana, pranayama, and pratyahara. Unless such materialists are able to cleanse their materially absorbed mind, it is impossible for them to concentrate their thoughts on transcendence. And to do so, one must fix their minds on the gross material and external feature of the Lord. And what is the external feature of the Lord? The universal form. The materialistic men are very anxious to have some mystic power as a result of such controlling process. But that is not the real purpose. The real purpose is to eradicate the accumulated dirty things like lust, anger, avarice, and all other material contamination, and to establish our relationship with the Supreme Lord. If the mystic yogi is diverted by accompanying feast of mystic control, then his mission for mystic success is a failure. If those yogis are only after getting some siddhis, some anima lagima siddhis, then he's saying that it's a complete failure. Because ultimate aim of any process we follow is the God's realization, is to establish our sambandha with the Supreme Lord. So he is therefore recommending to fix his gross materialistic mind by different conception and thus realize the potency of the Lord. So the point is that somehow or other fix your mind on the Supreme Lord. So he will be giving upon this now some points that how a yogi, an attached yogi who is still in this material conception of life can meditate on this Virat Purusha. So for such a yogi, the Dharana Ashraya that Parikshit Maharaj asked, those question that what is a bona fide Dharana Ashraya? So he is giving that the Dharana Ashraya of an attached yogi is actually the universal form or the Virat Roop. So Sukhdev Goswami will now describe about this. So he'll be answering next question of Parikshit Maharaj. Visheshastasya dehoyam sthavisthascha sthavisham yatendram vyajayate vishvam bhutam bhayam bhavachayat. So he's saying that Visheshatasya. Visheshatasya means in a very, very important, or you can say personal form. So Vishesha means the samast form, not just the personal form of Bhagwan realization. But this is talking about the universal form. So one should meditate on this universal form, and then what will happen? All the vibhutis of the Lord will be understood, and all the anarthas that are in their heart, the bad qualities, they will never appear in the mind. So one way is to meditate on Krishna or Krishna's holy name. That is Bhakti Yoga. But those who are not able to do that, those who are still attached to this bodily conception of life, at least they can understand the opulence of the Supreme Lord. They can understand the vibhutis of the Supreme Lord. And then what will happen? Naturally, gradually, all the bad qualities from the heart will disappear. And then the heart will become pure with the absence of those negative qualities. And this, with purity of the heart, this dharana can be established on the Supreme Lord, and then one can progress. So he's saying, Visheshatasya dehoyam sthavistascha sthavisyam, means this body of the universal form of the Lord, it is more solid, it is gross. And with that form, yatendram vyajate vishwam bhutam bhavam bhavachasya. Within that form, what lies? The past, the present, and the future of the universe. And thus one can focus on that Supreme Lord. Somebody can read the translation.
This gigantic
Yeah, go ahead.
This gigantic manifestation of the phenomenal material world as a whole is the personal body of the absolute truth, wherein the universal resultant past, present, and future of material time is experienced.
Thank you, Sadam. So here Sukhdev Goswami is saying that for those who are attached yogis, those who are still in this bodily conception of life, for them, the personal body of the absolute truth is what? Is the entire universe, the Andakosha, the entire universe. And when they understand this Virat Purusha, and when they understand the opulence, the vibhuti of that Virat Purusha, then gradually and slowly they can focus their mind on Virat Purusha and gradually get purified in their heart. All the contaminations can be removed. So Prabhupada writes that anything material, either material or spiritual, we should understand it is the expansions of the energy of the Supreme Lord. His transcendental eyes, heads, and other bodily parts are distributed everywhere. He can see, hear, touch, or manifest himself anywhere and everywhere, for he is present everywhere as Supersoul, although he has his particular abode in the absolute world. So Krishna has his position in the spiritual world, but at the same time, through his expansion, he is present in the heart of every living entities as a Supersoul. The relative world is also his phenomenal representation. See, Prabhupada is saying, even this world is his representation, because he is nothing but an expansion of his transcendental energy only. He is there in this world, but that doesn't mean that he belongs to this world. Okay? He is present in this world through his expansion, through his energy. Although he is in his abode, his energy is distributed everywhere, just as the sun is localized as well as expanded everywhere, since the rays of the sun, being non-different from the sun, are expanded as expansions of the sun disk. So very beautiful analogy. With this analogy, Prabhupada is explaining that there is a sun globe, sun disk is there. That is there in the sun planet. Okay, sun planet is there. But through that sun disk, through that sun globe, some sun rays come. And when those rays comes, what do we say? Sun has come. Right? If the sun rays are coming from the window in our room, then what we say in general, that sun has come. Sun is out. So with the presence of the rays, we understand that the sun is there, because the rays are non-different from the sun. Similarly, the Supreme Lord and his energies are non-different. Okay, because they are coming from the Supreme Lord only. Supreme Lord is there in the spiritual world, but through his energy, he is present in every atom in this world also. Just as a fire expands its rays and heat from one place, similarly, the Supreme Spirit expands himself by his manifold energies everywhere and anywhere. And this phenomenal manifestation of the gigantic universe is only a part of his Virat body. Less intelligent men cannot conceive of the transcendental, all spiritual form of the Lord, but they are astounded by his different energies. So Prabhupada is again giving an example of Aborigines. Aborigines are the tribal people. They are struck with wonder by the manifestation of lightning, a gigantic mountain, or a hugely expanded banyan tree. They praise the strength of the tiger and the elephant because of their superior energy and strength. So naturally, those who are less intelligent, they will be attracted to the vibhutis or the opulences. When Krishna lifted Govardhan, some may be attracted that, wow, such an amazing superhuman activity Krishna did, that he lifted Govardhan because he's all powerful. But a devotee, especially the Vrajvasis, were thinking, oh, Krishna is not able to hold that Govardhan. We Vrajvasis are helping with our stick. Madhumangal is saying that it's because of my Brahmanical power that Krishna is able to hold. Because they don't have the conception that Krishna is God. They have the conception that Krishna is my Sakha, Krishna is my child, Krishna is my beloved. So that kind of relationship is established with Lord Shri Krishna. But those who are not on that level, they will be attracted to the opulence or the vibhutis of that Supreme Lord. Therefore, they can see this gigantic body of the Lord as Virat, which will be answering the challenge. And since they are accustomed to pay homage to the spiritual, superior material strength, like that of a tiger, elephant, and lion, they can offer respect to Virat Purusha because they are attracted. They are still attached to the material conception. Therefore, they will, because they have this, that if I cannot see God, I cannot pay respects to the God. So how they see God? They see God through these material things. Even Arjun, when asked this question, but was Arjun asking this question to Lord Shri Krishna to show his Virat Purusha for himself? No, he was asking for those people who are attracted to the material conception. So for them, seeing the opulence in this world, we understand that this opulence actually belongs to the Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada is saying that actually, when somebody is attracted to Virat Purusha, it's a good way of asking because that may nullify those people who claim themselves to be God. This Virat Purusha of the Lord was manifested not for the benefit of Arjun, but for the unintelligent people who accept anyone and everyone as an incarnation of the Lord. So for them to mislead the general mass of people. So for them, one should ask that, oh, you claim yourself to be the incarnation of the Lord, please exhibit your Virat Purusha. So in one sense, it is good. You should ask them, if you claim yourself to be God, then please exhibit your Virat Purusha. And thus you can establish yourself to be the incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So the Virat Purusha manifestation of Lord is simultaneously a challenge to the atheist, and it is a favor for the asuras who can think of the Lord as Virat and thus gradually cleanse the dirty things from their hearts in order to become qualified to actually see the transcendental form of the Lord in the near future. So this is slowly and gradually. And how this gradual process works, when such a person comes in contact with the pure devotee of the Lord, then gradually their conception of this Virat Purusha is removed and they establish the relationship with the Supreme Lord. So this conception of Virat Purusha, Prabhupada is saying, is a favor of all merciful Lord to the atheist and to the cross materialist. So this is the compassion of the Supreme Lord, that he doesn't want to leave anyone. It's not that he is only favoring his pure devotee. He is also favoring to atheists also, to gross materialistics also. Okay, if you have this tendency, then I am here. With this, you can appreciate and you may get attracted to my opulence, and slowly and gradually, you will purify yourself. So this shows the all compassionate, all merciful nature of the Supreme Lord. Now, text 25th. So in 25th also, he is continuing, and then he will tell the different limbs of that Virat Purusha pertaining to different things in the universe. अंडकोशे शरीरस्मिन् सप्तवर्णः संयुयते विराजपुरुषो स यो भगवान् धारणाश्रय. So he is Bhagavan, he is the Supreme Lord, he is Lord Shri Krishna. And he is coming as Virat Purusha through his energy, through his internal potency. And that is the Dharana Ashraya for those who are materially attached. What is that? Viraja Purusha, the Virat Purusha or Viraraja Purusha. And where he is present in Andakosha. He is present in this universal shell. His body is basically this universal. This one universe is the body of that Virat Purusha. And that universe is covered with the 7 layers. Sapta avarana samyata. Avarana means to get covered and sapta means 7. So he's covered with the 7 layers. This entire Andakosha, this entire universal form is the body of Virat Purusha and it is covered with the 7 layers. And what are those 7 layers? Earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. These are the 7 layers by which every universe is covered. And that every universe is what is the body of that Virat Purusha. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead, Sunil.
The gigantic universal form of the personality of Godhead within the body of universal shell, which is covered by 7-fold metal elements, is the subject for the Vivat conception.
Thank you, Prabhu. So with the universal form, which is made up of these 7 layers, the Lord that is present, that Lord becomes the Dharana Ashraya, the shelter of fixing one's mind onto the form of the Supreme Lord for those who are attached yogis. So Prabhupada is saying simultaneously the Lord has multifarious other forms and all of them are identical with the original fountainhead form of the Lord. From Brahma Samhita also we know that there is one candle and through that candle all the other candles are lit. When all the candles are lit, the potency that is coming or the light that is coming from that candle is similar. So they all look similar. So similarly, the Lord with his multifarious forms, they are similar in the potency, but still the original candle is the original candle from where all the other candles are lit. Similarly, Krishna is the fountainhead form of the Lord. Ete chamsa khalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He is the fountainhead. But when he incarnates through his multifarious forms, he is same. In the Bhagavad Gita, it has been proven that the original transcendental and the eternal form of the Lord is Lord Shri Krishna. But by his inconceivable internal potency, Atmamaya, he can expand himself by multifarious form and incarnations simultaneously. Ajopi samavayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swam adhishtaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Though he is unborn, though his body never deteriorates, but still through his own personal energy, through his own internal energy, Krishna says, Sambhavami Atmamaya, I appear in every millennium through my potency of Atmamaya. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna also manifested this Virat Rupa. For what? Just to convince the less intelligent class of people who cannot conceive the Lord as appearing like a human being. And he factually has the potency of his claim to be the supreme absolute person without any rival or superior. So for those people, he has appeared as Virat Purusha. Now then, Prabhupada is talking about the 7 coverings. So we have earth, water, fire, air, ego, just like a huge football pumped and covered, floating on the water of the causal ocean, where the Lord Mahavishnu is lying. And of course, through this Mahavishnu, when he exhales, all these universes comes in being, and with his inhale, all they go back in the body of Mahavishnu. The poor, foolish materialistic cannot imagine how ignorantly he puts forward as insignificant creature to become his rival incarnation, simply on the allegations of a dying man. The Virat Purusha was particularly exhibited by the Lord to give lessons to such foolish men so that they can accept a person incarnation of the Lord only if such a person is able to exhibit that Virat Purusha. So again, Prabhupada is highlighting that point, that why Virat Purusha comes in being. Now from 26th verse till the last verse, what Sukadev Goswami will be speaking, he will be speaking the various limbs of the Virat Rupa and how they are connected with the planets or the things that are there in this universe. So we will quickly go through this section because it is just telling the limbs of the Virat Purusha and connecting it to the universal form. Patalameta hi padamulam pathanti parshni prapade rasatalam mahatalam vishvasrajotha gulfau tatalam tvai purushasya jange. So now he will be starting from where? From Patal Lok. So he is saying Patalametasya, he padamulam, the Patal Lok. So we know that our universe, it has different lokas. So this entire universe is divided into 14 planetary system. So 7 planets. So we have Earth, that is Bhuloka. Then we have Bhurloka, Bhuvar, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and finally the Satyaloka, where Lord Brahma resides. And similarly, we have lower planetary system, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, and Patal. So first he is referring to this Patal. What is this Patal? So he is saying that Patal Loka is Eshahi Padamulam, is the lotus feet of that Virat Purusha. But what part of that lotus feet? The souls. The lower part of that feet is what is the Patal Loka. Patalam etasahi Padamulam. So Padamulam are the soles of the feet. Pathanti, those who have studied, Parshni Prapade Rasatalam. Then comes, after Patal comes Rasatalam. What is this Rasatal? So he's saying Rasatal is actually the heels. The heels of the foot are the Rasatal. The Rasatal planet is compared to Parshni Prapade. Parshni refers to the heels. Rasatalam. Mahatalam Vishwasrajota Gulfau. Gulfau refers to the ankles. Mahatal refers to the ankles of that Virat Purusha. And Talatal refers to the shanks or the calves of that Virat Purusha. So Patal refers to the soles, the foot, the feet of the Virat Purusha. And Rasatal refers to the planet. Rasatal refers to the heels. Mahatal refers to the ankles, and Talatal refers to the shanks or the calves of that Virat Purusha. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna. Person who have realized it have studied that the planets known as Patala constitute the bottom of the feet of the universal Lord, and the heels and the toes are the Rasatala planets. The ankles are Mahatala planet, and his shanks constitute the Talatala planets.
Thank you, Prabhu. So you can just simply envision, starting from Patal Loka, that how the Supreme Lord manifests in this universe as Virat Purusha. So here Prabhupada only writes that how the universe is divided into 14 planetary systems, 7 planetary systems called Bhur, Bhuvar, Swar, Mahatapas, Janas, and Satyaloka. They are upward planetary, the upper planetary system. Then we have the middle planetary system, our Earth. And finally, we have 7 planetary systems down, that is Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, and Patal. And gradually one below the other. So Patal, we have covered, are the lotus feet. Rasatal are the heels. Mahatal is our, Patal is the feet. Rasatal are the ankles. Heels, sorry. Mahatal is referred to as ankles, right? Gulfau. Gulfau means the ankles. Mahatal as ankles and Talatal as the shanks or the calves. So what is left? Atala, Vitala and Sutala. That we will see in the next verse. Dvijauni Sutalam Vishwamurtir Uru Dvayam Vitalam Chatalam Cha Mahitalam Tajjangham Mahipate Nabhastalam Nabhisharo Granati. Dvijauni. Jauni refers to the knees. Dui means two. The two knees are the Sutaloka of that Vishwamurti, of that universal form. Urudayam, Uru refers to the thighs. The two thighs are the Vitala planet, the planet known as Vitala, and Chala and Atala. So Atala and Vitala together, they are the two thighs. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur makes a comment. So he says Sutala planet are the two knees, but Vitala and Atala when he says Urudvayam Vitala Chatalam Cha. So these two thighs are the Vitala planet and Atala planet. Now the lower part of that thigh is known as Vitala and the upper part of the thigh is known as Atala. This is how the two planets are compared to the two thighs of the Supreme Lord. Mahitalam tad jangham mahipate. Jangham refers to the hips. So Mahitala means the earth. This is the hips of the Supreme Lord. And Nabhastalam means the outer space or the Bhuvarloka, Bhurlok, that is the outer space, that is the Nabhi Shirogran, Nabhi Saro, which is the navel, the depression of the navel, that is accepted as the Bhuvarloka. Okay, so somebody can read the translation.
The knees.
The knees. Okay.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
Okay. The knees of the universal form are the planetary system of the name Shutala, and the two thighs are the Vitala and Atala planetary systems. The hips are Mahitala, and outer space is the depression of his navel. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Gaurav. So the two thighs are the Vitala and Atala. And Vitala is considered to be the lower part of the thigh and Atala is considered to the upper part of the thigh. And the hips are Mahitala, that is our earth planet. And the outer space is the depression of his navel. So Nabhastalam is Nabhisara, the depression of the navel. Text 28. Urusthalam Jyotir Anikamasya Girva Maharvadanam Vaijanosya Tapovaritam Viduradi Purusha Satyam Tu Shishni Sahasra Shishna. So we have covered all the 7 planetary systems and we have covered this Mahitala, this earth planet, and we have also covered the Bhur planet, the Bhuvarloka. Now comes our upper planetary systems. So he's saying Urus Urhas Thalam Jyotir Anikam Asya. So Uru refers to the high point, but Sthalam refers to the chest. Uru Sthalam refers to his chest. So what is the place of the chest is the Jyoti Anikam, or you can say where all the luminary planets are present. So that means his chest is compared to Swargaloka. Okay, after Bhur comes the Swargaloka. So this Jyotiranica Masya refers to the Swargaloka. Griva, his neck, refers to Maharloka. Vadanam, his face or his mouth rather, refers to Janaloka. Okay. Tapovaritam. Tapovaritam means the Tapaloka that is there above that Janaloka is considered to be his forehead of that Adi Purusha. Satyam tu, that Satyaloka. Here Satyam doesn't mean truthfulness. Here Satyam refers to the Satyaloka. After Tapoloka, we have Satyaloka. It refers to the Shirshani, refers to the head of the Supreme Lord. Head of whom? Who is Saharsa Shirshana. One who has 1,000 head, his head is referred to that Satyaloka. Okay. Hope it is clear. Yes, somebody can read translation.
The chest of the original personality of the gigantic form is the luminary planetary system. His neck is the Meher planets. His mouth is the Janus planet. His forehead is the Tapas planetary system. The topmost planetary system, known as Satyaloka, is the head of He who has 1,000 heads. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nisha. So the chest is Swarga, neck is Maharloka, face is Janaloka, or you can say the mouth is Janaloka. The forehead is Tapaloka, and his head is Satyaloka. This is how the 14 planetary system is covered for that universal form. We'll continue with text 29. Prabhupada is just saying about this effulgent luminary system where sun and the moon are present. They are situated almost in the mid-space of the universe, and as such, they are known as the chest of the original gigantic form of the Lord. Now, this may create some doubts in the heart, but later Prabhupada only will clear this, okay? Because we have seen that the sun and moon are regarded as the two eyes of the Supreme Lord, right? But here they are saying that this place, the luminary planets that are there, where the sun and moon are present in the mid-space of the universe, that is known as the chest of the Supreme Lord. And these are present here in Swargaloka. And above this is Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka. Yes, Tulsi Gopi Mataji, you have some doubts or you want to add?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I wanted to ask that he who has 1,000 heads is who? Brahmaji or Vishnu?
Vishwarupa. Because he shows, right? He shows his 1,000 heads even to Arjun when he shows his Virat Purusha.
Okay.
Saharsha Shirsha.
I get
Right? We
confused,
have
I
in
guess.
what is that? Purushashtakam also, right? What is that? Yeah. We sing Saharsha Shirsha Sahasrava. Yeah. Go ahead, Mataji.
I was just confused because it's Satyalok and then Vishnu's head, so I just got confused.
No, it's about the Supreme Lord, who is 1,000-headed, and his head is compared to that Satyalok.
Okay. Thank you.
Sahasrabahu, 1,000 arms, 1,000 legs.
Mataji, can I add just something? So in the also where it shows us around the Swar Loka or Swarg Loka only, all the luminaries, nakshatra, and all these planets, but we know everything is depicted, right? So it's matching, the description is matching with that also.
Yes. So it refers to the chest of the Supreme Lord.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Text 29. Indradyo bhava ahur ursha karnau disha shrotam amushya shabda nasatya dashrau paramasya nase grahanosya gandho mukhamaknir idha. So now Sukadev Goswami, he has explained about the 14 planetary system. So he'll be talking about the different devotees who are staying there and how the Supreme Lord's body is compared to them. And now the universe is formed, so naturally some tanmatras have to come. The form, the taste, the smell, all these tanmatras also have to come into being. So how they will come and how they correlate with the universal form of the Supreme Lord, that he will be explaining. Indra Adyo. Indra Adyo means Indra and his other means demigods. Ursha are actually the demigods. So Indra Adyo, all the demigods, including Indra, etc., they are considered to be Bahava, to be considered the arms. So the demigods are the arms of that gigantic Virat Purusha. Karno Dishaha, all the 10 directions are referred to the Karna or refers to the ears. And with it, what comes? The sense of hearing. Okay? Because Shrotam Amusha Shabda, through this sound energy, the sense of hearing comes. And the organ is ear. And these ears are what? The 10 directions. Okay? Nasatya Dashrav. Nasatya Dashrav refers to the Ashwani Kumaras. They are Paramasya Nase, they are considered to be the two nostrils of that Virat Purusha. And with the nose, what comes? The Tanmatra of smell. The smelling power comes. But who are the presiding deities of the nostrils? They are the Ashwini Kumaras. Now, Gandha. So, Grahano se Gandha Mukham. So then what happens? The sense of smell comes in, right? Because Nasa refers to the nostril. The two nostrils are the two Ashwini Kumaras with that sense of smell comes into being. And that fragrance, to smell that fragrance, Mukham Agnir Idaha, and his mouth is considered to be Agni, to be the fire. Idaha refers to shining, or you can say the blazing fire. So this mouth is referred to the fire or the Agni. Okay, somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna, Dev Pranam, I can read.
Yeah.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His arms are the demigods, headed by Indra. The 10 directional sides are his ears, and physical sound is his sense of hearing. His nostrils are the two Ashwini Kumaras, and material fragrance is his sense of smell. His mouth is the blazing fire. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nathalie. So, with all this, the Tanmatras also comes into being. So, when ear comes, and ears are the 10 directions. The 10 directions are considered to be the ears. So, with that, the physical sound also comes into being. When we say the smell comes, then when the nose is compared, the nostrils are compared to the two Ashwani Kumaras, then with that, the sense of smell comes into being. And that material fragrance is the ultimate, the material fragrance is the sense of smell. And his mouth is the blazing fire. So the conception of Virat Purusha, the gigantic form of the Supreme Lord, is said to include all the dominating demigods as well as the dominated living beings. Even the minutest part of a living being is controlled by the empowered agency of the Lord. Since the demigods are included in the gigantic form of the Lord, worship of the Lord. See here again, avidhi purvakam. Remember from Bhagavad Gita? Here it says the worship of the Lord, whether in his gigantic material conception or his eternal transcendental form as Lord Krishna, also appeases the demigods on all the other parts and parcels, as much as watering the root of a tree distributes energy to all of the tree's other parts. So Krishna also says, better water the root. Why you are watering the other parts of the body? If the root is nourished, the entire tree will be nourished. So Krishna also says, those who worship demigods, actually their worship is coming directly to me only, because these demigods, they are passing on that worship to me. So they are worshipping me only, but avidhi purvakam, in an indirect way. Why to follow the process in an indirect way? Why not just follow the direct process? Okay, one need not risk being misled by approaching many demigods for fulfillment of different desires. The real entity is the Lord himself, and all others are imaginary, for everything is included him only. All these demigods are also temporary. The longevity may be very high as compared to that of the human beings, but still they are temporary. When the entire universe goes back into the body of Mahavishnu, then nobody is left, right? And who is left? Only Mahavishnu is left. So everything is included him only. So we should only worship the real entity, that is the Lord. But moving forward, now Sukdev Goswami will talking about others. Dayur Akshini Chakshur Adbhut Patanga Pakshamani Vishnur Ahani Ubhecha Tadruhu Vijimbraha Parameshthi Dinsham Dhishnayam Aposyatalu Rasa Ivajiva. So other Tanmatras also come. Somebody can read the translation, it will be more clear.
Translation, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The sphere of outer space constitutes his eye pits. And eyeball is the sun as the power of seeing. His eyelids are both the day and night, and in the movement of his eyebrows, Brahma and similar supreme personalities reside. His palate is the director of water, Varuna, and the juice or essence of everything is his tongue.
Thank you, Mataji. So the sun Devta arises from his eyes. So eyes is the sun. But previously we saw all these planetary systems where they are situated. That entire planetary where all these luminaries are present, that is compared to the chest. But from there, the sun refers to the eyes. And from that, what comes? Form. The tanmatra of form comes into being. The day and night are compared to with the eyelashes, because with eyelashes, we protect the eyes. So these day and night are compared to the eyelashes of that form. The abode of Brahma is his movement of the eyebrows. And Varuna, and from Varuna comes his palate. And with that palate, what comes? The taste comes. The taste arises from his tongue. The common sense of description in this verse appears to be somewhat contradictory. See, Prabhupada himself is saying, because sometimes the sun has been described as an eyeball and sometimes as the outer space sphere. But we understood that entire planet is the chest, but the sun is the eyeball. But there is no room for common sense in the injunctions of the Shastras. We must accept the description of the Shastras and concentrate more on the form of the Virat Purusha than our own common sense. Common sense is always imperfect, whereas the description of the Shastras is always complete and perfect. Shabda Brahman. If there is any congruity, it is due to the imperfection and not the Shastras. That is the method of approaching Vedic wisdom. Text 31. Chandamsi anantasya shiro grinanti damshtrayama sneha kala dvijani haso janmoda kari chamaya duranta sargo yad apanga moksha. So Chandamsi refers to the Vedic hymns. The Vedic hymns are compared to be the cerebral passage, Shiro, the cerebral passage of the Supreme Lord. Or you can say the Brahmarandran, from where the soul leaves, for especially those who are pure devotee. So the top part of the head, the cerebral passage, refers to the Vedic hymns of the Supreme Lord. Damshtra Yamaha, the jaws of the teeth, they are refers to Yamaraj. Snehakala Dvijani, and his compassion. Snehakala means his art of affection is compared to the twice born, that is the teeth, the front part and the upper part and the lower part of the teeth. So teeth is compared here as being called as Dvijani, Dvijas. The teeth are also known as Dvijas. Brahmanas are also known as Dvijas. So Dvija refers to one who are twice born. So the human being takes birth from his mother's womb. That is one way of taking birth. But after taking birth, when he gets initiated by the spiritual master, then that is compared to be the second birth. So therefore, that Brahmana who gets the Brahman thread, gets the Gayatri mantra, is considered to be the second birth of that human. So therefore, he is known as Dvija. Okay. Similarly, the teeth. So we have the milk teeth and then we have our own permanent teeth. So the teeth are also known as Dvijas. So Sneha Kala Dvijas. So this front and the lower, the front part of the teeth, the upper and the lower, they are considered to be the Sneha Kala, or you can say the art of affection that is there in the heart of Virat Purusha, that is compared to the teeth. Then Damshtrayama and the back, the jaws are compared to be the Yamaraj. Haso, his smile is considered to be what? Janmodha Karichamaya. His material energy, his external Bahiranga Shakti is known as the smile of the Supreme Lord. And very poetically it is, we say Janmodha Kari. So Janon Madakari means one who is most Jana Unmada, that creates the Unmad, or that creates the bewilderness in the Jana, in the people. So it's most alluring, and that is Krishna's illusory energy. That illusory energy, which is Duranta Sargo, which it is unsurpassable. Right? Daiviyesha Gudamai Mamamaya Durattaya, Krishna says. So Duranta Sarago, which is unsurpassable, that is the Maya Shakti. Yat Apanga Moksha, and his glance, and how this is creating, this entire material creation is created. So that is just the glance of the Supreme Lord. He is casting this glance. So material energy is the smile, but entire material creation, Duranta Sargo, this entire material creation is just the glance of that Virat Purusha. Okay? Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. They say that the Vedic hymns are the cerebral passage of the Lord, and his jaws of teeth are Yama, and god of death, who punishes the sinners. The art of affection in his set of teeth, and the most alluring illusory material energy is his smile. This great ocean of material creation is but the casting of his glance over us. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Papa Prabhupada is saying, according to Vedic assertion, this material creation is the result of Lord's casting a glance over the material energy, which is described herein as the most alluring illusory energy, Janmanmada Khari. The conditioned souls who are allured by such materialism should know that the material temporary creation is simply an imitation of the reality, and that those who are captivated by such alluring glances of the Lord are put under the direction of the controller of the sinners called Yamaraj. The Lord smiles affectionately, displaying his teeth. The intelligent person who can grasp these truths about the Lord becomes a soul fully surrendered unto him. So even through understanding this Virat Purusha, we can have the conception of devotional service if we have the quality of appreciating everything in this material world to be the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. That is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. Text 32. Vridota urushto dhara eva labho dharmastano dharma pathosya prashtham kastasya medram vishnau cha mitrau kukshi samatra giryosti sanga. So now he's talking about the shyness, vrido. Vrido refers to the modesty, or you can say the shyness. That is what uttara ushtha. So his lower lip, uttara means the upper lip. So upper lip is of Virat Purusha is considered to be his modesty, to be his shyness. And lower lip, adhara eva labho, the greed is considered to be his lower lip. Dharmastano, his chest is considered to be the dharma. Adharma pathosa shriyam, and his back, prishtham, his back is considered to be the adharma. So chest is considered to be dharma, and the back portion is considered to be the adharma. Kah tasya, kah refers to Brahma. So Brahma refers to Medharam, refers to the genital of that Supreme Lord. Vishnau cha mitrau, and the two testicles are the Mitras and the Varunas. Mitrau refers to the Mitras and the Varunas. Kukshi, Samudra, and this entire ocean, all the oceans that we see, they are considered to be the waist or the abdomen of that Supreme Virat Purusha. Kukshihi. Girayosti Sangaha, and his bones are considered to be the Girayo, to be the hills or the mountains. Okay. Somebody can read translation.
Modesty is the upper portion of his lips, hankering is his chin, religion is the rest of the Lord, and irreligion is his back. Brahmaji who generates all living beings in the material world, is his genitals, and the Mitra Varunas are his two testicles. The ocean is his waist, and the hills and mountains are the stacks of his bones. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. The Supreme Lord is not impersonal, as misconceived by less intelligent thinkers. Rather, he is the Supreme Person as confirmed in all the authentic Vedic literatures. But his personality is different from what we can conceive. Brahmaji acts as genitals and the Mitra Varunas are the true testicles. This means that as a person, he is complete with all bodily organs, but they are different type with the different potencies. When the Lord is described as impersonal, therefore it should be understood that his personality is not exactly the type of personality found with our imperfect speculation. One can, however, worship the Lord even by seeing the hills and mountains or the ocean and the sky as different parts and parcel of the same Virat Purusha. The Virat Purusha, as exhibited by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, is a challenge to the unbelievers. So the point is that even as Virat Purusha, he is personal because his entire body is being correlated with all the things and the beings that are present in this entire universe. Continuing, Sukdev Goswami saying, Nadyosya Nadyostha Tanuruhani Mahiruha Vishwo Tanur Nipendra Ananta Virya Swastim Matrishva Gatirvaya Karma Guna Pravaha. So now he's saying, O Nripendra, O the king of all the kings. So he's referring to Parikshit Maharaj. O Nripendra, O king, Nadyo se Nadyo means the rivers are considered to be the Nadya. So one is Nadya, Nadya refers to the rivers, and Nadya refers to the veins. So the rivers are considered to be the veins of the Supreme Lord. Mahiruha, Mahiruha refers to the trees and plants. They are considered to be the Tanuruhani, the hairs on the body of the Virat Purusha. Vishwatanor Nripendra of the universal form. So, O king, the rivers are considered to be the veins of the Supreme Lord, and the plants, the trees are considered to be the hairs on his body. Anantavirya Shwastam Matrishva. Matrishva refers to the air. So, what he's saying is the wind with his prowess. Prowess of what? Anantashesh is the breathing of the Supreme Lord. So wind, that wind which has the prowess of Anantashesh is referred to as the breathing of that same Virat Purusha. And the movement of time is his walking. So that means Gatir Vaiha, Karma Guna Pravaha. The birth after birth that the living entities, they take birth after birth, that cycle of birth after birth is considered to be the activity or the play of the Supreme Virat Purusha. Okay, so what is time? Time is his walking. Gatir Vaya, time is his walking, and all the karma guna pravaha, by the power of which, of this karma or guna, how the living entity, they take birth after birth. That entire cycle of the living entities taking one birth after another is considered to be the activities of the Supreme Virat Purusha, or you can say the play. Okay, somebody can read the translation.
O king, the rivers are the veins of the gigantic body, the trees are the hairs of his body, and the omnipotent air is his breath. The passing ages are his movements, and his activities are the reactions of the three modes of material nature.
Thank you, Mataji. So you got this, that the personality of Godhead is not a dead stone. He's not inactive, or is poorly thought by some schools. He moves with the progress of time. So what is time? Time is his movement. He knows all the past and present and the future, along with his present activities. There is nothing that is unknown to him. The conditioned souls are driven by the reactions of the modes of material nature, which are the activities of the Lord. But the modes of material nature act under his direction only. Okay. So, and as such, no natural functions are blind or automatic. Not a blade of grass moves without his sanction. In Brahma Samhita, it has been explained that only for the duration of his breathing period, Brahma exists. The same is confirmed here. The air on which the universes and the planets within the universes exist, the air that has the prowess of Anantavirya, of the Anantashesh, is nothing but a bit of his breath. So we know that through his breath, Brahma comes into being, and when he inhales, the life of Brahma is also destroyed. Text 34. Ishasya keshan vidur ambhuvan vasastu sandhyam kuruvarya bhuna avyaktamahor hridayam manascha sa chandrama sarva vikara kosha. So now he's moving ahead and he's saying, Isha keshan, the clouds, vidur ambhuvan, the clouds that carry water, they are considered to be the hair of that Supreme Lord. Vasas, the vasas, vasa refers to his clothes. His clothes, his dress is what? The sandhyam, means the twilight. Or you can say when the two times meet, the sandhi happens, the sandhyam. Kuru varya bhuma, oh, the best of the kurus. Avyaktam ahur hridayam manascha, that avyakta prakriti, pradhan, is considered to be his intelligence. Sachandramaha, the moon is considered to be his mind, which is the shelter of all the change. Sarva vikara kosha, it is the shelter of all the change. Somebody can read translation.
O best among the Kurus, the clouds which carry water or the hairs of his hand, the terminations of the days or nights or his dress, and the supreme cause of material creation is his intelligence. His mind is the moon and the reservoir of all changes. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you. Text 35. Vijnana Shaktim Mahim Amananti Sarvatmananta Karanam Giritram Ashvashvatari Utsra Gajanakhani Sarve Mraga Pasha Vashroni Deshe. So now he's talking about the next. In that, we will just directly read the translation. Somebody can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The principle of Mahat Tattva is the consciousness of omnipresent Lord, as asserted by experts, and Vodadeva's ego. The horse, mule, camel, and elephant are his nails, and wild animals and all quadrupeds are situated in the belt zone of the Lord.
Thank you, brother. So, Vijnana Shaktim. Vijnana Shaktim is considered to be the consciousness. Sarvatmana Anta Karanam Giritaram. So, this Anta Karana, that is the ego, that is considered to be the Giritaram or the Rudra. All the horses, mule, camel, elephant, they are considered to be the nails. And Sarva Mrigaha, all the stags, or the quadrupeds, you can say, they are considered to be the hip area, or which are situated in the belt zone of the Lord. Vayamsi tat vyakaranam vichitram manur manisha manujo nivasha gandharva vidyadhara charana prasad swara smritir asurinika viryaha. So now he's talking about the varieties of birds. So somebody again can read the translation.
Can I read, Mataji? Varieties of birds are indications of his masterful artistic sense. Manu, the father of mankind, is the emblem of his standard intelligence, and the humanity is his residence. The celestial species of human beings, like the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, and angels, all represent his musical rhythm, and the demoniac soldiers are representation of his wonderful prowess. Thank you.
Thank you, Satyam. So birds are his artistic sense. Manu is the standard intelligence, the humanity in his residence. Celestial species, we'll see why the humanity is his residence. Prabhupada explains it very beautifully. The celestial species of human beings, like the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, they are like the musical rhythm, and the demonic soldiers are just wonderful prowess. So Prabhupada explains. Okay, let's read. The atheistic sense of the Lord is manifested in the artistic, colorful creation of the varieties of birds like the peacock, parrot, and cuckoo. So when we see all these birds and the way they create their nest and how colorful and beautiful these birds are, naturally we feel that, wow, the Lord is so artistic. So that artistic sense comes because when we see these birds. The celestial species, like the Gandharvas, they can sing very nicely, and therefore we can entice even the minds of the demigods. So they are considered the representation of the musical rhythm. So that means how can Lord be impersonal? His musical taste, artistic sense, his standard intelligence, which is never fallible, are the different signs of his supreme personality of Godhead. Now talking about the humanity. The Manu Samhita is the standard law book for humanity, and every human being is advised to follow this book. So human society is the residential quarters for the Lord. Why? This means that human being is meant only for God realization and association with the God. If we are not using this human form of life properly, that means we are spoiling the residential quarter of the Supreme Lord. This life is a chance for the conditioned soul to regain his eternal God consciousness and thus fulfill the mission of life. So this human form is the Supreme Lord's residential quarters where the Lord can simply sit and relax. But if we don't use this human form of life properly to regain our eternal God consciousness, that will spoil the mission of the life, and that will spoil even the residential quarters of the Supreme Lord. Maharaj Prahlad is the right type of representative of the Lord who is there in the family of Asuras. None of the living beings is away from the Lord's gigantic body. Even and every one has a particular duty in relation to the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada is saying even Lord Chaitanya displayed this living unity in the jungle of Madhya Pradesh, where even the tigers, elephants in the Jharkhand forest, or all these ferocious animals, they completely come together and were chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra along with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they perfectly cooperated, and that is the way to peace and amenity all over the world. Time is up, but we have only 3 verses left. We started 15 minutes late also because of some Zoom issues. So what I will say, we'll take these 15 minutes and we'll finish off this chapter. Brahmananam Shatrabhujo Mahatma with Urur Angri Shrita Krishna Varna Nana Bhidabe Jagano Papanno Dravakshama Karma Vitana Yoga. Now he's talking about the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas who are there. Somebody can read the translation.
The Virat Purusha's face is the Brahmanas. His arms are the Kshatriyas. His thighs are the Vaishyas. And the Shudras are under the protection of his feet. All the worshipable demigods are also overtaken by him, and it is the duty of everyone to perform sacrifices with visible goods to appease the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. So, face are the Brahmanas, arms are the Kshatriyas, thighs are the Vaishyas, and the feet are the Shudras. And the worshipable demigods, we have to worship them. It's a duty to perform sacrifices with the feasible goods. That means through ghee, clarified butter, to please the Lord. But here, Prabhupada is saying, as much as sacrifice, every one of them should do it in pleasing the Supreme Lord. Generally, the sacrifice is offered with clarified butter and grains. But with the progress of time, human society has produced varieties of goods by transforming materials supplied by God's material nature. So human society therefore must learn to offer sacrifices not only with clarified butter, but also with other manufactured goods in the propagation of the Lord's holy name. And that will bring about perfection in the human society. So here Prabhupada is referring to Harinam Sankirtanam. That is the highest kind of sacrifice that a devotee can offer it to the Supreme Lord. So Sankirta Yajna. Text 38. Yanasa Ishvara Vigrahasya Yasannivesha Katito Mayate Sandharete Smin Vapushi Stavishte Manah Swabuddha Nayatosti Kinchit. Somebody can read. Now he has ended. Sukadeva Goswami has ended. So what he's saying?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I have thus explained to you the gross, gigantic conception of the personality of Godhead. One who seriously desires liberation concentrates his mind on this form of Lord, because there is nothing more than this in the material world.
So he's saying, now I've explained you everything, and those who are seriously desiring liberation should concentrate his mind on this form of the Lord. And what is that? Dharana Ashraya. So those, not we, those who are on this, still attached to this material things, those who have this material conception of life, they can follow this process of Ashtanga Yoga, and they can meditate or concentrate their mind on that Virat Purusha, because nothing more than this is there in the material. Everything in the material world is compared to the body of Virat Purusha. So if somebody is attached to this material conception of life, they can correlate that to the body of Virat Purusha, gradually get purified and progress. But you have to concentrate his mind on the form of the Lord. That's how Prabhupada is explaining. Because they are unable to accept the personal feature of the Supreme, the Lord is kind enough to demonstrate the Virat Purusha. And herein Srila Sukadeva Goswami has vividly described this form of the Lord. He concludes that there is nothing beyond this gigantic feature of the Lord. None of the materialistic, thoughtful men can go beyond this conception, and the minds of materialistic men are flickering and constantly changing from one aspect to another. Therefore, one is advised to think of the Lord by thinking of any part of his body, and by one's intelligence, one can think of him in any manifestation of the material world. Forest, hill, ocean, the man, animal, demigod, bird, beast, anything that exists, we can correlate. Last verse. Sasarvadhivriti anubhuta sarva atma yatha swapna janikshitaikah tam satyamananda nidhim bhajete nanyatra sayyada yada atma pataha. So now what Sukadeva Goswami is saying, somebody can read.
Hare Krishna. One should concentrate his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who alone distribute himself in so many manifestations, just as ordinary person create thousands of manifestations in dreams. One must concentrate the mind on him, the only all-blissful absolute truth. Otherwise, one will be misled and will cause his own degradation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Ishwar. So one should concentrate his mind upon the Supreme Personality of God. So in this, Prabhupada is saying that in this verse, process of devotional service is indicated by great Goswami Srila Sukadeva. He tries to impress upon us that instead of diverting our attention to several branches of self-realization, we should concentrate upon the Supreme Personality of God. See, ultimate aim is to focus your mind on the Supreme Lord. Whether you follow Ashtanga process or Jnana process or any other process. The point is that one should concentrate upon the Supreme Lord. Here also, those who are in this material conception of life, for them also, this Virat Purusha is there. But the point is that one have to meditate and concentrate his mind on the different forms of that Virat Purusha and correlating it with the different material things in the universe. But underlying fact is meditate on that Supreme Lord, whether in the Virat Purusha form, whether in the Brahman form, whether in the Paramatma form, or whether in the Bhagwan form. But the thing is that one should be able to concentrate with intelligence, his mind with intelligence onto the form of the Supreme Lord, not being formless, but on the form of the Supreme Lord. To this, Srila Prabhupada is saying, why to struggle? Just follow the easiest, the Sulabha process. That is the process of Bhakti Yoga. Self-realization, offering a fight for eternal life against the material struggle for existence. And therefore, by the illusory grace of the external energy, the yogi or devotees face many allurements that can entangle a great fighter again in the bondage of material existence. So therefore, yat karoshi yadashnash, right? Whatever you do, offer it to the Supreme Lord. A yogi can attain miraculous success in material achievements such as anima, lakima. He can achieve many mystic powers. But is that what he's looking for? No. So one is warned against such allurements because entanglement again in such illusory pleasure means what? Degradation of the self. So it's a very cumbersome process. It's like taking a staircase. You climb on one to another, to another, to another, and you fall and drip on the fifth or the seventh, and then again you have to start again. You come back and from first, second, third. It's a cumbersome process. It means further degradation of the self and further imprisonment in this, entanglement in this material world. So the Supreme Lord is one, his expansions are various. So he is therefore the super soul of everything. When a man sees anything, he must know that he is seeing is secondary and the Lord seeing is primary because he is the real Kshetrajna. From Bhakti Shastra, you remember? Who are the two Kshetrajnas? Who are the two knowers of this Kshetra, knowers of the field? Is the soul and the super soul. Where the super soul is considered to be the highest, is considered to be the primary. But the soul is considered to be the secondary knower of this body because the primary sees everything, past, present, and future. And the secondary, the soul sees only what is going on or has experience of past, but is oblivious of what is going to happen in the future. So the Virat Purusha, the theory of simultaneously oneness and difference has been explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through his Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. So the Virat Purusha, the gigantic feature of the Supreme Lord, includes everything materially manifested, and therefore Virat Purusha is the super soul of all living and non-living things. But the Virat Purusha is also the manifestation of the same Narayan. And going further, when we'll see that eventually it's Lord Shri Krishna, Ete Jamsa Kala Pumpsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Everything is emanating from Krishna only. And being an emanation or glancing potency of Narayan, the whole material creation is non-different from him. And because it is the effect of his Bahiranga Shakti, he is aloof from his internal potency. And the Atma Maya, the whole material creation is different from him at the same time. So yes, this material energy is the partial manifestation of the Supreme Lord only, but still the Supreme Lord is aloof from that energy. He doesn't get attached, just like the example of sun is given. The sun and the sun rays. The sun rays, they clear everything. They evaporate the water, they clear the urine, they purify that place. But the sun gets dirty. No, the sun doesn't get dirty. Similarly, the Supreme Lord manifests this entire material creation through the agency of his Bahiranga Shakti, but he himself doesn't get entangled into that existence of material, the material existence. The example given in this verse very nicely is that of a dreaming man. The dreaming man can create many things in his dream, and thus he himself becomes the entangled seer of the dream and is also affected by the consequences. This material creation is exactly like a dream-like creation of the Lord. But he, being the transcendental super soul, is neither entangled nor affected by the reactions of the dream. If we see a dream and in the dream we see the tiger is attacking, that we will see that we will experience that feeling that tiger is attacking us. And in that dream also we will have that fear towards that tiger. We will be sweating, perspiring, and that after effects will come, will show us on our body. But for the Supreme Lord, it is not like that because he is transcendental. So he is neither entangled nor affected. As a part of him, one should therefore concentrate on him only without deviation. Then Prabhupada quotes this, Sarva Bhutani Kaunta Prakritim Yanti Mamekam Kalpashaya Punastani Kalpadau Vishrameham. That I, through my Prakriti, through my material nature, I only do this material manifestation and beginning from one another. By my potency, I create. So with my potency, with my Bahiranga Shakti, I annihilate and I recreate, again annihilate and again recreate, but I don't get entangled myself. The human life, however, is an opportunity to get out of this repetition of creation and annihilation. It is a means whereby one may escape the Lord's external potency and enter into his eternal potency. From Mahamaya's Shakti, we become Devi Prakriti Mashraya. We become the shelter of Krishna's internal potency. But how? Only when we make best use of this human form of life, because it is an opportunity that is given to us so that we can break this cycle of birth and death. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the second canto, first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The First Step in World Realization. So we will stop here. I'll share one more thing so that you know that how you can understand all this. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Madhurame Mataji, for that picture. And thank you, Saudamini Mataji. This humanity is the residence of the Lord. Tomara Hriday Sada Govinda Vishram. Very nice. In the heart of the pure devotees, the Lord always takes shelter. So in this regard, especially in the second canto, this His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhu's book will really help you to prepare for your exam. So this is how, see, it has been mentioned. What is Patal, what is Rasatal, what is Mahatal, what is Talatal, and Swargaloka, Maharloka, his nostrils, fragrance, his hairs, his breath, his smile, everything is nicely in a tabular form is being explained by Gaurang Darshan Prabhu in his Shubhodhini. So if you can refer this, that will be great. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me 15 minutes extra. So we ended this chapter. Yes, Tulsi Gopi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Masaji, I noticed there were some overlaps in, for example, in the thighs earlier, those were the Atal and Vital, right? And then later it was mentioned that thighs are the Kshatriyas. Similarly, the moon represents the mind, but earlier the moon is like the eyes of the sun and moon are the eyes. But I think, does it mean that only sun is the eyes and moon is the mind?
No, it's not like that. Yes, some overlapping is there for sure. But that's how, because some portions are related to the objects and some are related to the demigods.
Okay.
That's how we have to understand. Or the living entities of this living beings. Okay, like we see, if I share the screen again, what? See, Patal, Ratat, Satalatal, or Sutala, Vitala. Now, further representation of the limbs or the activities of Virat Purusha, that how these are tanmatras come. Eyeballs is the sun. Then again, as you mentioned, that where it says the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas. See, the face refers to the Brahmanas, arms are refers to as Kshatriyas, thighs are the Vaishyas. So yes, some repetition are definitely there, but some are related to the gross material things and some are related to the living beings or the demigods that are present. That's how we have to understand.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Saudamini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for this class. Mataji, I also had this similar doubt. Like in 28 shloka also we saw that quadrupeds mentioned. Quadrupeds were the well zone. And again before that, horse, mule, camel, elephant. So they also come under quadrupeds, Mataji. But they're mentioned as nails separately.
No. That is different, Mataji. Which verse?
28, Mataji.
28.
Not 28, sorry, 35.
35. Horse, mule, camel, and elephant. They are considered to be the nails. The wild animals and all the quadrupeds are considered to be the hips, or they say, Prabhupada translate as present in the belt region. Right? They are referred to as hips.
So horse, mule, they don't come under quadrupeds, Mataji.
They do, but they are separated. These four are separated from the other wild elements. Horse, mule, camel, and elephant.
So that case also, Mataji, can we understand like this? Like sun, first luminaries are told to be like Lord's chest, and then again sun, moon, are like eyes. So that was object part, and here the demigods part, sun and moon. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay. And another one more, Mataji, I was thinking like seeing Vishwaroop, Virat Roop. So is it like seeing Krishna everywhere?
That's what, all pervasiveness.
Yeah.
His
So
all
even
pervasive. Yeah, go ahead.
So this even we try to follow this, no, Mataji. Though we are trying to practice Bhakti Yoga, but seeing Krishna everywhere, like
we appreciate. You are right. We appreciate and we should appreciate. But the point is that is not the dharana ashraya for the bhakti yogis.
Oh, not the
Here
ultimate.
specifically the dharana ashraya has been referred because that's what Parikshit Maharaj was asking, right? See the three questions that Parikshit Maharaj had. How is this dharana accomplished? What is the bona fide dharana ashraya and how to quickly remove the contamination of the mind? So this dharana ashraya is different for the Ashtanga yogis, for the attached yogis, for the jnana yogis, for bhakta yogis. But bhakta yogis, they appreciate everything. They appreciate even while seeing the opulence of the Lord, they understand that this is actually coming from my Supreme Lord only. When we see something beautiful, what Prabhupada used to say, when you see a beautiful woman, you should appreciate that how wonderful is my Supreme Lord. So, or we see the strength of somebody, we should appreciate that this is coming from the Supreme Lord. If we see some wealthy person, we should understand this is also the opulence of my Supreme Lord. We appreciate, but that doesn't become our dharana ashraya. We don't focus only on this, rather we focus on the sound vibration of the Supreme Lord. Or our establishing our relationship with the Supreme Lord. Some relationship should be established. Understanding his Aishwaryata, understanding his opulence is different, and understanding his sweetness is different. But we have to come to the level where we understand his sweetness, like the Vrajavasis. Are hoga Bhagavan kahin ka? He must be a lord of some area, but for me, he is my son, he is my friend, he is my lover. So this is how establishing a relationship.
Yes, Mataji. So this seeing Krishna everywhere will help us in our dharanashray.
Yeah, it will help us, but at the same time, we have to make sure that we don't get into this Aishwarya Bhav of the Supreme Lord. Because ultimate aim for we Gaudiya Vaishnavas is that we have to be attracted or towards the sweetness of the Supreme Lord by establishing a relationship with that Supreme Lord.
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Thank you so much for this.
Like Arjun. Arjun was on the Sakhya Bhav. But as soon as he saw Virat Purusha, what happened? He was totally allured with the opulence, with his vibhutis of the Supreme Lord. So his Sakhya Bhav was mixed with this Aishwarya Bhav. So it's not on the pure sweetness level, but it is mixed with that Aishwarya Bhav. We don't want to have that. We have to aspire to get the mood of the Vrajvasis, where no matter how much Aishwarya, Krishna himself can come and declare that I am Supreme Lord, still the Gopa says, forget it. We don't believe it. Even if you are, so what? You have to play with us, and if you lose, you have to carry me on your shoulders. Deal is deal, no matter what. They saw Nalakuvera and Manigreva offering their obeisances and pranams. But for them, it's okay. Still, my Lord is my friend. That's how that mood, that sweetness is developed. Yes, Mataji?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Sunil Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandat Pranam. Thank you so much for beautiful class. Mata, just to confirm about the Katwanga Maharaj, he followed pure devotional practice, not this Ashtanga Yoga, not the Vivadrup, right?
No. He simply meditated on the Supreme Lord. In that one Mahurta, and he achieved the self-perfection.
Just by meditation, not pure devotional service, neither Vivat or Ashtanga, just
Means
meditation.
he focused his mind. He was following the process of Bhakti Yoga only. He focused his mind on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Remembrance. Antakale mame. Antakale chaiva smarana muktva kaleva. He followed this process of smaranam, remembering the Supreme Lord.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, dear devotees. Thank you for cooperating with me. And we will end. And hopefully by next Tuesday, we'll try to resolve the issues so that you all can join through dashboard. And we'll continue with chapter 2 next Tuesday. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Tuesday. Today is Thursday. Okay, so thank you so much. Panchakalpatarubhascha, Kripasindhuvaivacha, Patitanam Bhavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrindi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki all
Jai.
the Vaishnavas ki jai.
Kritika Mataji ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Good to see you, Nisha Mataji.
You too, Mataji. Thank you.
You see me every week, but I get to see you, all of you rather, not very often.
Well, I haven't been able to come online for a while, so
that's perfect.
I haven't seen you after a while too.